Today, let us hear a remarkable story about a young man named Jason. At 25 years old, Jason lived in a quiet small town, much like many others who harbored dreams of a brighter future. He understood that mastering English could unlock a world of possibilities, better career prospects, exciting travel, and the chance to connect with people globally. This realization sparked a pivotal decision in his life. He would move abroad to immerse himself in English. This is the tale of Jason's inspiring journey, detailing the hurdles he overcame and how he ultimately achieved fluency in the language. His arrival in London, a city he had long yearned to see, was a whirlwind. From the moment he stepped off the plane, English enveloped him. Yet, a stark reality hit him. He could barely understand a word. The rapid speech, unfamiliar accents, and constant city chatter left him feeling utterly lost. At the airport, when asked about his destination, he could only manage simple phrases like, "I go to school." In that instant, Jason knew his ambition would be far more challenging than anticipated. Nevertheless, his resolve remained unbroken. The following day, Jason began his English language classes. His teacher, Mr. Smith, was a kind and patient man, and the classroom buzzed with students from diverse backgrounds, all united by their desire to learn. It was there that Jason met Liam, an Italian student who would soon become his best friend. Liam, too, found English challenging, and their shared struggles and common goal of mastering the language forged an instant bond between them. Jason and Liam soon became inseparable. In their small apartment, they cooked meals together. Jason taught Liam to make pancakes, and Liam introduced Jason to authentic Italian pasta. These culinary adventures became opportunities for English practice, with phrases like "pass me the salt" or "how do you say this in English," enriching their daily vocabulary. Outside of class, they loved exploring London, visiting museums, parks, and charming local cafes. One afternoon, in a bustling cafe, Jason tried to follow the conversations around him. Despite his best efforts, the speed, slang, and varied accents made it impossible. He felt completely adrift. "I don't understand anything," he whispered to Liam, who nodded in silent agreement. A wave of discouragement washed over them, realizing how much further they had to go. Yet, Jason refused to surrender. That evening, the cafe incident replayed in Jason's mind. He resolved to seek his teacher's guidance. The next day, after class, Jason approached Mr. Smith. "I can read English well," he explained, "but I struggle to understand people when they speak quickly. Conversations are so difficult." Mr. Smith offered a reassuring smile. "Jason, that's entirely normal. Listening comprehension is one of the most challenging aspects of language learning. But I have a strategy for you." He then presented Jason with a list of English podcasts and TV shows. "Listen to these daily, even if you don't grasp every word. Your comprehension will improve over time. Also, dedicate time to the shadowing technique." Jason looked puzzled. "Shadowing?" he inquired. "It means listening to a native speaker and immediately repeating everything they say, mimicking their rhythm and pronunciation like a shadow. It's incredibly effective for both accent and fluency," Mr. Smith clarified. Jason and Liam diligently incorporated shadowing into their daily routine. They would play short movie clips or podcast segments, pause, and meticulously repeat each sentence. Gradually, their accents refined and their confidence soared. English conversation was no longer confined to the classroom. They spoke it at the store, with new friends, and even in cafes. One particular evening, they revisited the very cafe where Jason had felt so lost. This time, as he overheard conversations, a profound shift occurred. He could understand fragments, then phrases, and a genuine smile spread across his face. He wasn't lost, he was making progress. Over their usual coffees, they discussed future aspirations. I want to deliver presentations in English someday to large audiences, Jason declared. Liam nodded in agreement, me too. But for now, let's just keep getting better. Jason quickly grew to love London's incredible culinary diversity. Every weekend, he and Liam explored different neighborhoods, seeking new flavors. One day, they discovered a cozy Indian restaurant. Jason, having never tasted anything quite like it, was captivated. As they ate, they practiced new English vocabulary describing the complex spices. This curry is so spicy, but I love it, Jason exclaimed, laughing as his eyes watered from the heat. Another weekend found them at a Japanese sushi bar where Liam raved about the fresh fish. It melts in your mouth, he said. They realized that these gastronomic adventures not only enhanced their English, but also offered a delicious way to experience global cultures. Weeks flowed into months, and Jason and Liam maintained their rigorous daily practice. They challenged each other to speak exclusively in English even when exhaustion or frustration set in. Jason's confidence blossomed, and soon he could engage in full conversations with locals, understanding various accents and even incorporating British slang. Mr. Smith, observing Jason's remarkable progress, encouraged him to deliver small presentations in class. Though initially nervous, Jason improved with each attempt, learning to articulate his thoughts clearly and confidently, even when errors occurred. This was crucial. Jason's journey was far from over. English acquisition is a continuous process, not an overnight achievement. Every day brought new words, fresh challenges, and innovative ways to refine his skills. His friendship with Liam deepened, and together they relentlessly spurred each other onward. One afternoon, after class, Jason and Liam decided to attend a language exchange event their teacher had recommended as an excellent way to practice English with native speakers and fellow learners. Jason felt a familiar pang of nervousness, but he recognized this as a prime opportunity to engage with new people and bolster his confidence. The event unfolded in a vibrant pub, teeming with individuals from across the globe: Spain, France, Japan, Brazil, and beyond, all gathered with the shared purpose of practicing English. Jason and Liam got drinks and joined a group at a large table. "Hi, I'm Jason," he offered with a friendly smile. "I'm from the US and I'm here to improve my English." A Spanish woman named Maria introduced herself. "Nice to meet you. I'm Maria. I moved here 2 years ago and I'm still working on my English." As they conversed, Jason noticed that the more he spoke, the more new words he absorbed. Maria used terms like opportunity and commitment, which Jason had heard before, but never quite integrated into his own speech. By carefully listening, he grasped their context and made a mental note to use them later. During the event, Jason sought Maria's advice on speaking confidently. She shared her own journey. When I first arrived, I was terrified to speak. But I learned that people don't mind mistakes. They appreciate your effort. The trick is to keep conversations simple initially. Ask open-ended questions like, "How was your day?" or "What do you enjoy about living here?" This encourages others to speak more, allowing you to listen and learn. Jason immediately put this technique into practice. Instead of fixating on perfect grammar or vocabulary, he focused on asking questions and maintaining the flow of conversation. He asked Maria about her favorite city spots and her reasons for learning English in London. This approach not only smoothed the interaction, but also helped Jason acquire new phrases and expressions naturally. Back in their apartment, Jason and Liam established a new nightly ritual. They would sit at the kitchen table, exchanging the new words they had encountered that day. Each word was carefully written on a sticky note and placed strategically around their living space, on the fridge, the bathroom mirror, even beside their beds. I learned commitment. Today, Jason announced one evening. It means sticking to something, no matter how difficult it becomes. Liam grinned. Get it? I learned spontaneous. It means doing something without prior planning. They quizzed each other, crafting sentences with their fresh vocabulary. I made a commitment to practice English every day, Jason might say. Or Liam, let's be spontaneous and try that new restaurant tonight. This simple, consistent habit rapidly expanded their vocabulary, and with each new word, their confidence in using English in real-life scenarios soared. One particular area where Jason struggled was small talk, those light, casual exchanges people often have in cafes or workplaces. Mr. Smith had emphasized its importance for developing social skills and practicing natural English. So Jason resolved to challenge himself. The next day, while waiting in line at a cafe, an opportunity arose. A woman stood beside him, also waiting for her coffee. Nice weather today, right? Jason ventured, aiming for a casual tone. The woman smiled and nodded. Yeah, it's finally warming up. I'm so tired of the rain. Jason felt a thrill of success. It worked. He continued the conversation with simple questions like, do you come to this cafe often? And what's your favorite drink here? It wasn't a profound discussion, but it was enough to break the ice and provide valuable practice. Later, when he met Liam, Jason eagerly recounted his triumph. I did it, Liam! I actually started a conversation with someone at the cafe. Liam laughed, patting Jason on the back. That's awesome, man. See, you're getting better every day. However, not every interaction was seamless. There were still moments of embarrassment and frustration. One evening, Jason and Liam visited a traditional British restaurant. Jason ordered bangers and mash, but when the waiter asked if he wanted gravy on the side or on top, Jason froze. He had no idea what gravy meant. I'm sorry, could you say that again? Jason asked, feeling a touch anxious. The waiter patiently repeated the question. Jason still didn't understand, but instead of panicking, he chose to ask for help. I'm sorry, I'm still learning English. What's gravy? The waiter smiled kindly. It's a sauce we pour over the mashed potatoes. Oh, got it! On top, please, Jason replied, a wave of relief washing over him. He realized it was perfectly acceptable to ask for clarification, and people were generally eager to assist. Later, as they ate, Liam chuckled. I didn't know what gravy was either when I first arrived. But asking questions is just part of the process. As time progressed, Jason identified his greatest obstacle. Not vocabulary or grammar, but fear itself. He was afraid of making mistakes or sounding foolish. Then, one day in class, Mr. Smith delivered a speech that profoundly altered Jason's perspective. Fluency, Mr. Smith declared, does not mean speaking without mistakes. It means speaking with confidence. Even native speakers make errors. The crucial thing is to keep the conversation flowing, even if you stumble. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn. Jason absorbed this wisdom deeply. From that day on, he shed his preoccupation with perfection. He plunged into conversations, even when uncertain of the precise words, understanding that confidence outweighed getting every word perfectly correct. Weeks later, Jason and Liam revisited the cafe where they had once felt so utterly lost amidst the chatter. This time, everything felt different. Jason overheard two people at the next table discussing their weekend plans. I'm going to visit my parents in the countryside, one of them said. Jason smiled. He understood every word. For the first time, he felt a genuine sense of belonging in the city. He turned to Liam, a quiet triumph in his voice. I can understand them. I finally feel like I'm getting the hang of this. Liam nodded, equally proud of their shared progress. We've certainly come a long way, Jason. As Jason and Liam continued their urban explorations, their circle of friends expanded to include people from diverse countries and backgrounds, all striving to improve their English. Each new connection brought fresh experiences, engaging conversations, and novel learning opportunities. Jason particularly relished discovering various food cultures from his international acquaintances. He sampled Korean kimchi, savored Mexican tacos, and even learned to prepare Japanese ramen from a classmate. With every new person they met, Jason diligently practiced introducing himself and engaging in small talk, asking questions like, how long have you been learning English? Or, what's your favorite thing about living here? These interactions not only honed his language skills, but also broadened his mind to new perspectives and cultures. One day, Mr. Smith unveiled a new challenge for the class, a debate competition. Each student was tasked with preparing arguments on a specific topic. Jason felt a surge of both excitement and dread. Public speaking had never been his forte, especially not in English. Mr. Smith assigned Jason and Liam the topic. Is technology making us more connected or more isolated? This will definitely push you out of your comfort zone. Mr. Smith explained, it's an excellent way to practice English in a real-life situation. You'll need to organize your thoughts, speak clearly, and learn to manage pressure. Jason and Liam dedicated the next week to preparing their arguments. They researched together, acquired new vocabulary related to technology and communication, and practiced speaking in front of each other. despite his nerves about addressing the class. Jason understood this was precisely the kind of challenge that would foster his growth. On the day of the debate, Jason stood before the class, his heart pounding. He took a deep breath, recalling Mr. Smith's words, "It's not about being perfect. It's about having the courage to speak." As he began, he noticed something remarkable. The words started flowing naturally. Of course, he made a few mistakes, but instead of freezing, he pressed on. He skillfully employed phrases like, "I believe that," and "in my opinion," to structure his arguments. Speaking with a newfound confidence he had never before experienced. After the debate, Mr. Smith warmly congratulated him. "Jason, that was excellent! See how far you've come. You're not just learning English. You're using it to express your ideas." Jason felt a powerful surge of pride. He realized English was no longer merely a subject he studied. It was becoming an integral part of his identity. The debate had propelled him beyond his perceived limits, and he knew this experience would amplify his confidence in every facet of his life. Following the debate, Jason decided to embrace another challenge. He and Liam joined a local hiking group, a perfect opportunity to practice English with native speakers while exploring the stunning countryside. Their hikes led them through breathtaking landscapes, rolling hills, dense forests, and picturesque rivers. But the true highlight was connecting with new people. Among their companions was Emily, a linguist fluent in 5 languages, who shared invaluable insights into language acquisition. "Learning English is like hiking up a mountain," Emily explained as they ascended a steep trail. "Initially, it's arduous and progress isn't immediately visible. But every step brings you closer to the summit. You must keep going, even when it feels tough." Jason asked how she so easily acquired new vocabulary. Emily revealed her technique. "I use context. When I encounter a new word, I don't just memorize it. I observe how it's used in a sentence and strive to understand its meaning within that specific context. Then I actively incorporate it into my own conversations." During their hike, Jason and Liam applied this method. Upon hearing words like serenity or solitude used to describe the peaceful scenery, they immediately tried integrating them into their discussions. It was a subtle yet potent way to expand their vocabulary without constant dictionary reliance. One weekend, Jason and Liam explored a bustling farmer's market, the air rich with the aromas of freshly baked bread, sizzling sausages, and roasted coffee. As they strolled, Jason overheard a group discussing a new art exhibit. Intrigued, he approached them and joined the conversation. "Excuse me?" he began. "I couldn't help but overhear." "What exhibit are you talking about?" The group warmly welcomed him. They discussed their favorite art pieces, shared city recommendations, and even invited Jason and Liam for coffee afterward. As they settled into a cozy cafe, Jason experienced an incredible realization. He understood everything. The conversations flowed naturally, and for the first time, he didn't feel like an outsider. He asked questions, shared his thoughts, and even made a few jokes. His confidence was soaring. However, the conversation soon veered into a more complex topic: politics. Initially, Jason panicked, unfamiliar with many political terms in English. But instead of withdrawing, he applied his learned strategy. He asked for clarification. "I'm not familiar with that term," he said. "Could you explain what you mean by legislation?" The group happily explained, and Jason understood that asking questions was not a sign of weakness, but a clear indicator of curiosity and a desire to grow. Despite Jason's dramatic improvement in English, his pronunciation remained a challenge. He yearned to sound more natural, leading him to seek a pronunciation coach. His coach, David, a voice actor, specialized in helping non-native speakers master the subtle nuances of English sounds. David began by emphasizing the critical role of intonation, the rise and fall of the voice. "It's not merely about the words you utter," David explained, "but how you utter them. Correct intonation will make you sound more natural and self-assured." They practiced minimal pairs, words that sound similar but carry distinct meanings, such as ship and sheep. Jason also focused on stress patterns, learning to emphasize the appropriate syllables in words and sentences. It was demanding work, but David's expert guidance yielded significant results. Over time, Jason's accent became noticeably clearer, and his confidence in conversing with native speakers grew. He even began to enjoy mimicking different accents for amusement, often spending evenings with Liam trying to imitate British, Australian, or Irish speech, laughing at their efforts. Months elapsed, and Jason's English proficiency reached levels he once deemed unattainable. He could now converse effortlessly, comprehend various accents, and even engage in debates on intricate subjects. Yet, one final challenge awaited him, delivering a speech to a large audience. Mr. Smith had arranged an end-of-course presentation where each student would share their English learning journey. Jason felt a blend of excitement and apprehension. This would be the ultimate test of all he had acquired. On the day of the presentation, Jason stood on stage, gazing at the expectant faces in the audience. He took a deep breath and began, "Hello everyone, my name is Jason, and I want to share with you the most important lesson I've learned about learning English. It's not just about vocabulary or grammar, it's about confidence. I used to be terrified of making mistakes, but now I understand that every error is a chance to grow." He then recounted his entire journey, his initial struggles, how he persevered through challenges, and how he ultimately found his voice. The audience listened intently, nodding in recognition. When he finished, the room erupted in applause. As Jason walked off stage, he felt a profound sense of accomplishment, unlike anything he had ever known. He realized that learning English was not merely about mastering a language. It was about a profound personal transformation. He had become more confident, more receptive to new experiences, and more deeply connected to the world around him. Following the presentation, Jason and Liam celebrated their achievements by visiting the art exhibit they had once overheard discussions about at the cafe. As they admired the paintings, Jason reflected on his incredible progress. He had not only mastered English, but had also forged lifelong friendships, explored diverse cultures, and cultivated the confidence to confront any future challenge. Sitting on a bench, Liam turned to Jason and asked, "So, what's next?" Jason smiled. I think it's time for a new adventure. Perhaps I'll learn another language, or maybe I'll remain here and continue refining my English. Whatever his decision, Jason was certain of one thing: his journey was far from complete. Learning English had unveiled a boundless world of possibilities, and he eagerly anticipated where it would lead him next.